France is a highly cultural and diverse country. The French view themselves as a world cultural force and a trendsetter among nations. The French are highly diverse in that they are both traditional and modern, liberal and conservative, and Catholic and secular, with high regard to family values. Their cultural legacy that influences France's education is the emphasis on humanities and literature. Europe's second largest country with boundaries in the north, including the English Channel, the Straits of Dover, and the North Sea. On the east, Germany, Switzerland, and Italy, and the Mediterranean Sea. On the south, Spain, and on the west, the Bay of Biscay. France is ranked the fourth most populous nation in Europe. Most of the population lives in cities with over 50,000 residents, with Paris containing 19% of France's total population. Age ranges include 18.6% for 0 to 14 years, 65.1% from 15 to 64 years, and 16.3% is 65 and over. Farming is an important sector of France's economy, with 33% being suitable for farming due to its temperate climate. The sector receives government subsidies and is self-sufficient in production, leading to many of the crops grown being exported. Due to the rural population decline, urbanization has made its way into France. Urbanization has become the staple of France, with an increase in technology and service areas. Due to these advances, expansion of technological secondary schools and vocational schools has been possible. France has a multicultural, multi-ethnic, and multiracial character, especially in larger urban areas. About 85% of the population is of French ethnicity. Most foreign-born residents include Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, Poles, and West and North Africans. Roughly 6.3% is foreign-born residents. France is known for its French cultural identity and the French language, also the national language of France. Other dialects would include Breton, spoken in Brittany, Catalan and Basque in Pyrenees mountain region, Provincial in Provence, Flemish in Flanders, and German in Alsace-Lorraine. Within France's history, the Republican governments and the Roman Catholic Church have had a relationship based off contingencies, with education being the highest regard. France is officially a secular state since 1905, with 81.4% of the population being Roman Catholic. There has been a decline in those who practice their religion. Islam is the second largest religion with France, with over 4 million followers, or 6.9% of the population. Other religious groups include 1.6% of the population being Protestants, 1.3% of the population being Jews, and Buddhist and Orthodox communities. France is a parliamentary democracy with separation of the head of state and head of government. The head of state is the President of the Republic, and the head of government is the Prime Minister. The French Parliament consists of two houses, the Senate and the National Assembly. The Senate has 321 members, and they are elected indirectly by an electoral college every 9 years. The National Assembly has 577 deputies, and they are elected directly by popular vote every 5 years. The President of the Republic is elected by popular vote for a 5-year term. The President of the Republic presents the law, has exclusive power in granting pardons, appoints the Prime Minister, and appoints the Cabinet with the Prime Minister's recommendations. The Prime Minister is in charge of national administration, determines policies, submits government bills to the National Assembly, and is responsible for executing the laws. Cabinet ministers compose the government and are responsible for national administration in their jurisdiction. Metropolitan France is divided into 22 regions and is subdivided into 96 departments. The departments are then divided into cantons and communes. Each region has an elected regional council that consists of economic and social committees. The General Council, elected by the cantons for 6-year terms, are in charge of administrating the affairs of the departments. The 36,934 communes, also known as local government units, are administered by a municipal council that is elected for a 6-year term and a mayor. French education can be traced back to Charlemagne's court school in Aachen, where Lucian presided as chief educator. Then in 1150, the University of Paris was Europe's leading theology center, home to Thomas Aquinas. Dating back to the French Revolution of 1789, more than 50% of the male population and 75% of the female population were illiterate. Schools were limited in these times, even though France boasted of their intellect. The Constitutions of 1791 and 1793 identified education as a universal right, and things started to change. During the First Empire from 1804 to 1815, Napoleon made peace with the Catholic Church. He restored church control over primary schools by allowing priests and members of religious orders to be school principals and teachers. Napoleon's imperial decree in 1808 placed French universities' faculties under national jurisdiction. During the Bourbon Restoration from 1815 to 1830, Napoleon was defeated at Waterloo and exiled to St. Helena. The Congress of Vienna restored the Bourbons as France's rulers. The Bourbons under King Louis XVIII and Charles X returned primary and secondary schools to religious control, with priests and nuns in administrative and teaching positions. During the time of the Citizen King from 1830 to 1848, the French people revolted and successfully beat Charles X from the throne. Louis Philippe introduced the Guzet Law that mandated that communes establish public primary schools and pay their teachers, as well as reduce the Catholic Church's authority. The local priest remained a member of the communal councils that supervised the school. During the Second Republic and Second Empire from 1848 to 1870, Philippe's regime was overthrown and Louis Napoleon was crowned emperor. Under Napoleon, the Felix Law restored much of the Church's influence by appointing bishops to each academy's administrative council, permitting clergy to teach in public schools, and increased the time allotted for religious instruction. Also, the Duret Law extended free primary education for the poor and required all communes to establish public primary school for girls. During the Third Republic from 1870 to 1940, the Germans defeated the French in Franco-Prussian War and led to the collapse of Louis Napoleon Bonaparte. The Republic's government began bringing back national pride by including patriotic love of country and revenge in its textbooks. At this time, church schools and the clergy involvement stayed the same. In the election of 1878, liberal parties wanted to modernize the education system. Religious instruction was dropped from public school curriculum, and clergy were no longer able to teach, inspect, or supervise public schools. Primary school fees were eliminated, and attendance from ages 6 to 13 was mandatory. In 1901, members of unauthorized religious orders were unable to teach in private or public schools. Private religious schools were closed, and crucifixes and other religious symbols were removed from schools. In 1905, separation of church and state became official. The Depression of the 1930s caused budget cutting in France. The austere laws made part-time technical education mandatory for workers and authorized the establishment of higher education. In 1933, the school age to leave was raised to 14. During the Vichy government from 1940 to 1944, the German army defeated the French. Due to a treaty between the French and Germans, the southern part of France was governed by the Vichy government, headed by Marshal Pétain. Patriotism, work, and family were the core values and were implemented in the schools. The Vichy regime enacted anti-Semitic laws banning Jews from teaching and partaking in government services. In 1944, the Vichy regime collapsed due to France's liberation. During the Fourth and Fifth Republics from 1946 to present day, France focused on rebuilding their damaged economy and educational system. The education reform included quality of educational opportunity, programs to train personnel for the post-war economy, and greater attention to children's individual needs and development. In France, the National Education Ministry and the Ministry of Universities exercise national education authority. The National Education Ministry is organized into subdivisions including preschool and first-level schools, the first and second cycles of secondary education, lycée teaching staff, administrative staff, general administration, equipment and buildings, finance, statistics and information, and international relations. The National Education Ministry is responsible for policies and curricula, training teachers, and sets the teachers' salaries. All communications are sent to local schools by an official weekly bulletin. About 66% of funding is from the National Education Ministry, within the regions, departments, and local governments contributing 18%. Other sources provide the remainder of funding. Attendance in France is mandatory from ages 6 to 16 years of age, with those that are considered to be gifted able to begin at age 5. Primary or elementary school consists of children's ages 6 to 11. It is divided into 5 levels: the preparatory course, which is ages 6 to 7, the first year elementary course, ages 7 to 8, the second year elementary course, ages 8 to 9, the first year middle course, 9 and 10, and the second year middle course, ages 10 to 11. The subject base is divided into 3 clusters: French language, history, geography, and civics, then mathematics, science, and technology, then physical education and sport, art and craft, work, and music. The school year begins in mid-September till the end of June. Summer vacation is 11 weeks. The school day is from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. School is closed on Wednesdays and opens on Saturdays. Inspectors evaluate the teachers on orderly classroom materials and desks, displays about French language and mathematics, clear lesson plans, disciplined and motivated pupils, curriculum standards, teacher's preparation book, and the curriculum schedule and timetable. Most teaching styles are formal and uniform due to these inspections. Corporal punishment is not allowed. Punishment includes inciting extra work, reduced recreation time, and secondary schools include students from ages 11 to 16 and takes place in 3 different types of schools: the college, the lycée, and the lycée professional. The college includes forms 6th through 3rd, ranging in age from 11 to 14. Colleges are divided into 2-stage observation and orientation. The observation stage is in the 6th and 5th forms and includes 24 hours a week, covering French mathematics, a modern foreign language, history, geography, economics, civics, physics, chemistry, biology, and geology, technology, and art and physical education. The orientation stage includes 4th and 3rd forms and focuses on the student's future academic work. They study the same subjects in the observation stage with 2 hours additional. Lycées start with the 2nd form and end with the 1st form and include ages 15 to 18. In the 2nd form, students follow the core curriculum for 23.5 hours a week. They then choose out of 2 groups: Group A with a focus in economics and social sciences, and Group B with a focus in specialized technology. Then the students advance to take their. For many teachers, the choice is deliberate, due to the prestige standings among the French. Elementary teachers for grades 1 through 5 must possess a secondary school baccalaureate and pass an admission exam to enter a 2-year pre-service program. After a year, most are awarded full elementary certification in the title instituteur. Teachers for the lower secondary grades 6 to 9, take a 3-year preparation program. After completing a 2-year pre-service program, teachers are awarded a diploma. After another year of pre-service teaching at a regional center, they are awarded the lower secondary general teaching certificate. Upper secondary teachers, grades 10 through 12, must hold a diploma of a 3-year university study. Another year is used to study for a competitive exam, leading to a certificate of aptitude for a secondary school professorship. The highest regard as a teacher are egregies. They have passed a competitive aggregation exam and have already earned the certificate of aptitude. They enjoy special assignments and France has a large population that is founded on their national pride in culture and humanities. They have overcome continued obstacles for separation of church and state in education and strive for a more modern approach to education. Information was obtained from Gerard Gutierrez's American Education in a Global Society 2nd edition book. All images were obtained from searches through Google Image.